What if I told you the reason your body isn't evolving is because it doesn't feel like it has to? You wake up, eat, train, sleep, repeat. That's not evolution, that's automation. There comes a time for every man when the process must be broken in order to rebuild something greater, not incrementally, not gradually, but violently. Welcome to DDD, a protocol designed not for your comfort but for your reawakening. Let's begin. 1. The existential crisis of your muscle. Muscle isn't built with reps, it's built with necessity. The human body is not a machine that grows linearly. It's an intelligent organism that adapts only to real risk. When you plateau in training, it's not because your workouts suck, it's because your environment lacks threat. Your nervous system doesn't fear you, your muscle fibers don't feel urgency, your hormones have stabilized in your comfort zone. The body is saying, we're fine, there's no reason to evolve, and that's where most men quit. Not physically, but biologically. DDD is the answer to this entropy, not a tweak, not a hack, a deliberate collapse of your system so you can force it to rebuild with superior code. 2. The architecture of collapse. The first phase of DDD is decline. 21 days of no lifting, 30,000 steps per day, zero stimulation, zero dopamine reward. Why? Because you must resensitize your internal system. You're not just resting, you're removing the old code. During this phase, you feel empty, flat, weak. You might even doubt yourself, but biologically, your body is doing something genius. It's recalibrating. It activates AMPK, the energy sensor of starvation. This isn't just fat burning, it's metabolic discipline. Your nervous system winds down, your habitual motor patterns begin to fade, and your mind gets quieter. This is not just physical, this is philosophical death. You are becoming nothing, so you can become something new. 3. The shock of rebirth. On day 22, something snaps. You reintroduce training, but this isn't your regular workout. This is battle, twice a day, heavy compounds, explosive calisthenics, minimal rest, maximum tension. You refeed your body, not with junk, but with intelligent inputs, fats, salts, and glucose to swell the muscle back up. Now your body enters mTOR dominance. The anabolic signal activates. The fibers you once lost begin to re-emerge. But this time, they're stronger, more coordinated, more efficient. This isn't just hypertrophy, this is reconstruction. You've now built a body that remembers pain and grows in anticipation of future pain. That is real adaptation. That is evolution. For the neuroscience behind DDD, let's move beyond motivation. Let's talk systems. Your CNS is the governor of everything: movement, hormones, strength, even your beliefs. After long-term training, your CNS becomes efficient, yes, but also predictable. DDD resets that. By removing your habitual training patterns, your CNS becomes plastic again. You restore neuroplastic potential. Then when you reintroduce intensity, your system panics. It upregulates fast-twitch motor units, heightens synaptic firing, and improves the mind-muscle connection dramatically. In neuroscience, this is called rapid input-output remapping. You've changed the input, and now the output evolves. 5. The philosophy of suffering. No man becomes exceptional without choosing a season of pain. Most avoid it. Some romanticize it. But the elite, they manufacture it intentionally. That's what DDD is, a synthetic rite of passage. 21 days of decline, 21 days of domination, 42 days of proving to your biology that the old version of you is gone, that the new version isn't just stronger, it's unrecognizable. This is not just a protocol, it's a mental scar, a reminder that you took back control of your body by creating the exact crisis it was trying to avoid. So now you understand the why. But if you're anything like me, you're not satisfied with just story. You want the mechanics, the biology, the system design, the proof. Let's dive deeper. Here's how DDD manipulates your body at the molecular level to force the adaptation you've been missing. 6. Muscle memory reset. Nervous system reprogramming. Muscle memory isn't stored in muscle. It's stored in your central nervous system. When you train a certain way for too long, your brain creates efficient movement maps. But this efficiency breeds stagnation. The longer you use the same input, the lower the adaptation signal. DDD breaks this cycle. By not lifting for 21 days, you allow the motor cortex and spinal cord pathways to downregulate. This clears out dominant movement patterns. It's like closing an app running in the background for too long, freeing up neural RAM. Then when you return with brutal, chaotic training, the nervous system goes into panic mode. New movement, new tension, new timing. It scrambles to adapt, creating new synaptic connections, faster recruitment of type 2 fibers, and dramatically improved mind-muscle connection. This is not muscle building, this is neuromuscular awakening. 7. The metabolic switch. AMPK versus mTOR. Think of your metabolism as a light switch. It flips between two states. AMPK, the catabolic, energy preserving survival mode. mTOR, the anabolic, growth triggering muscle mode. During the first 21 days of DDD, you walk 30,000 steps. You eat in a moderate surplus, but you do no training. That's a confusing signal. Your body senses low resistance plus high movement, barks survival mode, so AMPK dominates. This triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, enhanced fat oxidation, autophagy, cellular cleanup, hormonal priming for scarcity. Then, when you reintroduce high intensity, low rest training, plus creatine, sodium, and dietary fats, your body flips the switch. mTOR takes over, anabolic signaling pathways explode, protein synthesis, glycogen supercompensation, muscle cell swelling. But here's the key. This contrast between AMPK and mTOR is what amplifies the response. You've stretched the metabolic rubber band, and when you release it, it snaps forward. This is not linear growth. This is supercompensated adaptation. 8. Fast twitch reconversion. Muscle fiber intelligence. Every muscle in your body is a spectrum between two fibers. Type 1, slow twitch, endurance, low output. Type 2, fast twitch, explosive, high output. When you walk 30K steps daily for 21 days, you heavily recruit type 1 fibers. This teaches your muscle to economize, to survive long durations with minimal effort, but then you slam it with heavy eccentric loads, drop sets, neuropulse push-ups. Now you're demanding explosiveness. You're signaling, we don't need economy, we need power. The body responds by shifting gene expression toward type 2 dominance, rewiring neuromuscular junctions for speed, increasing creatine phosphate storage for rapid ATP bursts. This is muscle intelligence at work. You are not just growing size, you are retraining your body to become explosive again. That's what most men lose with age, not just aesthetics, but the biological signature of aggression, power output. 9. Hormonal chaos as growth catalyst. Modern men chase testosterone like a supplement, but real T optimization happens through signal disruption. DDD manipulates your hormones indirectly but powerfully. Cortisol upregulation during 21-day stress builds mental grit. Insulin sensitivity improves from step count and carb cycling. Leptin plus ghrelin recalibrate during unusual feeding windows. Testosterone rebounds after intense multi-day volume reintroduction. It's not just that your testosterone increases, it's that your body believes you're in war. And in war, it activates its most anabolic primal state. This is a biochemical signature most men have never triggered, because they've never created a season of controlled chaos. DDD is that season. 10. Adaptive threshold theory. Here's the core concept of every DDD principle. The body adapts only when its threshold is breached, but over time your threshold rises. What was once hard becomes routine. What was once shocking becomes dull. So if you want adaptation, you need to artificially engineer a new threshold. That's what DDD does. Biologically, by switching between metabolic states. Neurologically, by resetting and shocking motor patterns. Psychologically, by placing you in a do or die scenario. Adaptation doesn't come from more reps. It comes from breaking your system's predictive model. The brain and body are pattern prediction machines. To grow, you must break the pattern. That is the entire philosophy of DDD. Conclusion: you're not training muscles, you're training systems. Training is not about hypertrophy, not in the real game. It's about system design, hormonal volatility, neural unpredictability, cellular confusion. That's the language the body responds to. Most men speak softly to their biology. DDD screams. That's why it works. It's not magic. It's intentional destruction followed by strategic reconstruction. That's the science. That's the edge. The gym will not save you. Hard work won't either. What will? A willingness to break everything that's working when it's no longer enough. That's the lesson of DDD. That's the power of controlled destruction. When biology fears death, it rebuilds in genius. So ask yourself, are you training to survive? Or are you training like a man preparing for war? Because in this game, survival is the minimum. Domination is the standard. And DDD is the reset button you've been avoiding for far too long.